Hi, welcome to my channel. If you haven't joined me before, I'm Trevor, and today we're looking at the fascinating subject of the future of South Africa in terms of predictions, prophecies and inshoots. So let us take a look. What will happen with the Western Cape? Will Cape Town break independent and become a free country from the rest of Southern Africa? What will happen with the water crisis and the electricity crisis? And with the circus show, the next elections that are coming up. So this is going to be an interesting year, not only for South Africa, but for America, for India, and many other countries who hold their elections this year. And if you look at my previous posts, I mentioned why this is such a revolutionary year. Go back and have a check at it if you want to see some other predictions. So firstly, we know that the ruling party has governed South Africa for 30 years now, and it's been on a constant decline. Millions and millions of South Africans have been leaving the country over the last 3 decades, and apparently there are still a lot of people leaving now, and apparently there's still a huge percentage of people that are migrating or remigrating back to Southern Africa. So if you value South Africa or want to see where your future is going to be, then follow this video to find out. So firstly, South Africa was a country that had one of the best electricity and water systems in the world. And over 30 years, we have got to a point now where we're probably one of the worst in the world, with electricity being cut off on a daily basis, and yes, even the water supplies being cut off on a regular basis. So where is this all going, and will the ruling party keep holding this power that they have? Well, firstly, when it comes to the elections, the ANC are definitely going to lose power, and then over the years to come, they're going to constantly lose the little bit of power they have left, until eventually we get to a phase where the ANC does not exist as a political party in South Africa at all. So that should tell us quite a lot. When we look at the country, we can see the post offices, nearly all of them have closed down. What country really doesn't have a post office? Can you believe it? So, and you know, not having proper supplies of water and electricity. So firstly, the electricity in some ways will be solved, but I mean, it goes to show that many people have become self-sufficient, putting on their own solar panels so that they can keep functioning. But in some way or form in the future, the electricity does start to come back online on a more permanent level and not shutting off every day, if you can believe it. But it's going to take some time. The bigger problem lying ahead for South Africa is the water crisis. And I'm not just talking about the infrastructure of the water crisis, because it's going to take years for them to solve this problem as well, with it maybe becoming a huge problem. So there's going to be another crisis in the much further future of South Africa regarding water. In other words, there will definitely be water shortages throughout the country. They won't be able to meet the needs because they haven't really been working on infrastructure and other plans to build up enough reserves for the future of the country. So South Africa, being a semi-arid region, is going to become more desert-like. In other words, there's going to be less rainfall and greater water shortages in the future. So one really needs to plan around being self-sufficient when it comes to water, especially in the farming communities. And what about Cape Town, the California of Africa? So Cape Town, trying to break independent and become a free state from the rest of Southern Africa, or the South Africa, is going to abandon its plans altogether in the future. So all this money and all this effort that they are spending to try to break independent and free, and yes, this process is going to get quite far. So it may even look like it's going somewhere. But at the end of the day, that plan is going to be abandoned, and because the rest of the country starts to come online again and starts to function. and this really is due to the governing party losing power. So there will be no need for Cape Town to become independent as far as this process is going to get. So this leaves us with a lot of hope about the future of the country. And yes, even though people are still leaving, there will be a lot of people flocking back that have left the country to re-immigrate back into South Africa. And realize once again that yes, it is quite an easy country to live in. It is the land of milk and honey, or it was, and it will become so in the future again. It looks a little bit impossible when you look at it at the moment, but when the country goes through a boom in the future, and it's definitely not going to be in the next few years, it's going to take some time, but South Africa's economy will boom. And this boom alone will show how the country has shifted and evolved into a new future without the ruling party. So I hope you enjoyed this post. There's great hope for South Africa. I'm going to give another prophecy on South Africa in the future, so if you don't want to miss out, like, subscribe and comment so the algorithm can bring this post up in the future so that you don't miss out. There's something much bigger that's coming that's going to affect everyone. So if you want to have a look, stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed this post.